At first glance, they look like coconuts, and that's what the local people call them, cocos. In fact, they are a kind of wooden pod, which contains more than a dozen Brazil nuts. The harvest season has just begun. Most of the cocos still hang in the trees. This huge tree is where your Brazil nuts come from. It's one of the tallest in the Amazon rainforest, and here in Peru, it's illegal to cut them down. It takes 25 years, however, for this tree to reach maturity and start producing nuts, which means it's virtually impossible to farm. And it only grows in standing rainforests like this. The trees are spread out across the Harakambut indigenous lands belonging to the tiny village of Masinawa. Between January and March, the Brazil nut harvest provides a welcome income for the village.
The
benefit for us is that the money is shared fairly among the families, depending on how many sacks of Brazil nuts they collected. In the future, we want to reforest using these trees. So 15, 20 years in the future, our grandchildren can collect the nuts and get a bigger income.
But this wild nut is a labor-intensive product. It's gathered over a wide area and not produced in great volume. The fact that it's sustainably harvested and rich in minerals, including selenium, also makes it a niche product for people into healthy eating, says biologist turned businesswoman Sofia Rubio.
Selenium is found naturally in Brazil nuts. In fact, the nuts are one of the most abundant natural sources of the mineral, which is said to have a positive influence on mental health. In fact, it's on a global list of foods which can make you happy. Selenium is also good for cellular processes to prevent aging, as well as prostate and breast cancer.
She toasts nut slices with herbs as a healthy snack, but her company, Shiwi, also produces anti-wrinkle oil and even a beer made from the nut. But for Rubio, who grew up in the rainforest, this wild nut is more important as a forest protector.
Right now in Madre de Dios, artisanal mining, logging, agriculture, and livestock are the dominant economic activities. Only tourism and the Brazil nut are relatively forest-friendly, which is why we're working to give more value to the product and the activity so we can have a healthy rainforest in the Amazon.
Using new presentations, Rubio is finding new markets, especially in Asia. Dan Collins, CGTN, in Madre de Dios, Peru.